why all cryptocurrencies except Bitcoin are bad long-term investments. Okay, guys, back to my channel, another video. We're going to talk about why all of these other altcoins are bad long-term investments. So let's get right down into it. The reason is because Bitcoin is basically like the wheel, and you can't reinvent the wheel. Now, hear me out. Now, I know a lot of you guys out there, you guys message me on social media, I meet you guys in real life, you talk to me about the next hottest altcoin or your next hottest coin that's going to blow up. And that is kind of defeating the whole purpose of cryptocurrencies, okay? The reason why Bitcoin was invented was, like I mentioned in some earlier videos, was to reestablish the gold standard, but in digital terms, to give us back that hard sound money that we could save and would preserve our purchasing power as we get older and we transition through different stages in life. But the problem is that whole fiat mindset, the casino, get rich quick, kind of way of life has kind of crept back into crypto. And now there are literally tens and thousands of these crappy altcoins out here. And while they may provide some gains in the short run, in my opinion, all altcoins go to zero against Bitcoin. So what this means is that if you guys are investing in any of these altcoins, you're going to end up losing 95% to 99% of your money over the next 5 to 10 years, over the long run, as Bitcoin maintains its purchasing power and continues to go up against all fiat currencies. And more altcoin investors realize, wow, these altcoins are basically a scam. They're bad long-term investments. I need to dump them and buy Bitcoin. So remember, when Satoshi Nakamoto created Bitcoin, we don't know if it was an individual person or a group of people. But the way Bitcoin was designed is to be on proof of work. In other words, miners have to physically contribute energy and solve complex mathematical equations in order to mine Bitcoin. So Bitcoin enters, the supply enters into existence. And with crypto, these altcoins, that doesn't happen, okay? Now, I know a lot of you guys are excited about altcoins like Cardano, XRP, right? Dogecoin, okay? Solana. Even some people are into the other kind of like the obscure ones, like, these coins like Litecoin, okay? Some of the older ones, they're more obscure. At the end of the day, these coins were created, in my opinion, with bad intentions, okay? Even the AI coins, Render, and all of these other Web 3.0 cryptocurrencies, they're all going to go to zero against Bitcoin, which makes them terrible long-term investments. And here's why, okay? These crypto coins are basically like securities, in my opinion. They're basically like stocks. So usually there's a group of investors or a small group of people that come together and they end up what I call pre-mining these coins. So they distribute these altcoins to their friends, to investors, to venture capitalists. Whoever has money can end up getting these coins at very, very low prices. And then what they end up doing is they end up reselling and dumping these altcoins on the unsuspecting, general crypto novice who really doesn't understand what's happening, okay? And the reason they're able to do that is simply because there's so many people that are entering the cryptocurrency space that still have the fiat mindset of like, I gotta get rich quick, instead of simply work, contribute to society, and use your currency or whatever and exchange it for sound money like gold or Bitcoin. That's what works over the long run. That's what helps you sleep better at night. That's what preserves your purchasing power. There's really no need to chase these altcoins and hold them over the long run. Now, if you guys are interested in like trading with a small percentage of your capital, maybe like 5, 10, 20% of your money, and you wanted to put it into the altcoin casino, make sure you guys study things like the relative strength index. Make sure you guys are watching the crypto greed and fear index so you know when to dump these coins. But generally, if you're even going to dabble in these altcoins, I used to trade them when my crypto journey started in 2019. But at this point, I'm 100% Bitcoin because I just don't need the extra risk. I'm comfortable enough to where I am that I don't need the extra risk. But for you guys that are trying to grow your capital, I can understand if you want to get into the crypto casino. But you need to take profits into Bitcoin. Okay, now the title of this video obviously is they're bad long-term investments. So in the short run, yes, there is some profit potential there. Okay, especially like the one that comes to mind the quickest was when probably when Mark Zuckerberg changed the name of Facebook to Meta, and all of these metaverse coins went through the roof. None of those have recovered. Okay, you had the AI coin boom. That bubble is starting to burst. Okay, we had Dogecoin that went through the moon last cycle. Now has it recovered? And the reason is because the early investors in these altcoins have left the building. They've taken their profits, they've moved the money into Bitcoin if they've kept it in the crypto space. Okay, and that's shown because the Bitcoin dominance now is 61%. That's right. 61% of the capital in the cryptocurrency space is in Bitcoin. So literally one coin has more than 50% of all of the total market cap in the entire crypto space. What does that tell you guys? Well, that tells you that the smart money is realizing that over the long run, Bitcoin is where it's at. And that's been evidenced by the huge inflows of money into the Bitcoin ETFs that have trumped absolutely all of the Ethereum and all of the other Solana and all the other ETF copycats that they offered out there. The fact that more and more companies are adding Bitcoin to the balance sheet. Just recently, GameStop announced Bitcoin to its balance sheet. I believe another company, Rumble, in the past added Bitcoin to balance sheet. We have Michael Saylor in Strategy. Okay, we have a similar Scientific. Okay, we have all of these companies. Of course, the Bitcoin miners have Bitcoin on their balance sheet. Tesla has Bitcoin on its balance sheet. So even though all of these altcoins are getting a lot of attention on social media and a lot of crypto investors are putting their money into them, the smart long-term money is into Bitcoin, which makes all other cryptocurrency, which makes all other altcoins bad long-term investments. Guys, I'm going to keep it real with you here. These coins cannot replicate Bitcoin. And the reason why is because there was a problem during the financial collapse of 2008, 2009. At the time of the financial collapse, I was a senior at Dartmouth College. And my dream was to go work and become an investment banker for Goldman Sachs. But when the financial collapse happened, a lot of older people lost their life savings. The real estate markets collapsed, the financial markets collapsed. A lot of people were using subprime loans to buy up homes, and then the rates jacked up on them. So a lot of those jobs dried up. And that's when I kind of paid my own path and got into finance and things like that, and kind of carved my own way to make a living. And then in 2014, I found out about crypto. But it wasn't until 2019 until I actually until I actually put my money into it, because for the first 5 years, I was ignorant about it. And I always say that Bitcoin, most people are against Bitcoin until they're for it. Okay, even Michael Saylor, you can find tweets of Michael Saylor mocking Bitcoin, and then we all know that in April of 2020, he finally came around and understood why people invested it. And of course, Strategy now has over 500,000 Bitcoin in its balance sheet, and they've kind of completely transformed Wall Street and really transformed the world to make people wake up and say, look, if your company doesn't have Bitcoin on its balance sheet, you're really not guaranteed security and financial abundance in the future if you're going to rely on governments to kind of deal with your balance sheet and your company's cash reserves. And that's just because Bitcoin is trustworthy. These other altcoins, they're this proof of stake is just, to me, it's like another stock. It just doesn't make sense. And at the end of the day, the people that make the most money are obviously the people that have the most coins, right? Because if you have proof of stake, then you need to stake your coins, right, on the blockchain in order to earn interest. And the thing about Bitcoin is Bitcoin doesn't act like that. With proof of work, you just have to put energy into the network and you get energy back. You're not going to get rewarded if you have, way more Bitcoin. Like the guy that has 1,000 Bitcoin and the guy that has 1 Bitcoin, they are rewarded the exact same thing when Bitcoin rises in price. But with proof of stake, having way more altcoins, you're way more beneficial than the guy that has a few altcoins. And we all know it's not fair, because most of these altcoins, they ended up distributing tokens pre-launch to insiders and venture capitalists before, so they get a leg up on you when the proof of stake mechanism comes in. Guys, it's a scam. So like I said, I believe in putting my money where its mouth is. I don't have any altcoins at the moment. I sold most of them in 2021, 2022, and I've pretty much been pure Bitcoin over the past 2 to 3 years or so, simply because I just want my money in something sound that's valuable, that retains value. And I don't have to worry about a third party or a CEO tampering, with my long term investment. And when I say long term, I'm talking about 5 to 10 years. Okay, long term for me is at least half a decade, a holding period, and I've been holding Bitcoin now for 6 years, and I just plan to continue that. So be careful of these altcoins. They are bad long term investments. If you are going to hold them, be sure to learn about, like I said, the relative strength index and the greed and fear index. We're going to talk about those probably in some future videos, but generally, you want to, if you're going to get involved in these scammy altcoins, you need to buy them when the greed and fear index is, very low, right? When people are, scared of them, and then when it gets up, the greed and fear index reaches closer to 100 and people get greedy, you need to get rid of them quickly. Bitcoin, you don't need to do that. Okay, you can just buy and hold Bitcoin. That's it. But with these altcoins, you need to trade in and out of them. You need to get out of them quick because they will lose their value against Bitcoin. This has happened time and time again. Don't want you guys to lose your money. Crypto is safe. It's a safe space if you know what you're doing. So that's my job here, to kind of educate you guys. I've been in the crypto space for 6 years. I think I've, obviously there's a lot of you watching this that have probably been in there longer than me, but I'm running into a lot of you beginners. You guys are asking me a lot of questions. So this is kind of a popular question that comes up. I think altcoins are bad long-term investments, but if you're willing to gamble and you're willing to trade, it's your money, it's your business. Just make sure you're buying fear, selling greed. That would be my best advice. So that's it until next time, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed my videos. Subscribe to the channel for more content. Let me know in the comments you guys enjoy what we're talking about. If you have any personal questions, just make them. I make these videos for you guys. I hope you enjoy them. So that's it until next time, guys. Take care.